we started in November last year, and there are 10 of us, I think, in the education group at the moment. We are a mixture of primary and secondary school teachers. We have some school governors. We have Maggie, who is a writer and used to teach at Middlesex Uni as well, creative writing. And we also have 2 of Enfield school partnerships involved. So Edmonton Community Partnership and Enfield Town Schools Partnership are also supporting us. So it's really great to have them on board. So we meet fortnightly on a Wednesday evening, and we sort of started by throwing around a few ideas, really, trying to get a feel for what we wanted to do. But I guess the main thing is what we want to do is get the climate emergency into the curriculum, or at least being talked about as parts of the curriculum in schools. So bringing it in, integrating it with all of the subjects that are being taught, and to raise awareness. But I think the awareness is already pretty high in schools in Enfield. So that's our mission. And we started by looking at what was actually already available in Enfield. And we came across a really wonderful document that the council had produced, a handbook for schools, a climate action handbook, which is really excellent. It's beautifully written. It ties in lots of climate themes beautifully into different subjects. It's very curriculum focused. And it is part of an initiative from the council that's part of their climate initiative for schools. So they have a forum and they invite schools to use the handbook and to meet and discuss the handbook and their initiatives in the forum. So we thought, great, we'll work with the council to help them, spread the word about this fantastic resource. And we've learned that that not very many schools are part of this group, and not very many schools are actually aware of this wonderful resource. And that the meetings themselves, because one of our team has joined one of the meetings, it's all quite top level. We've reached out to the council several times and they've said, yes, go for it. If you fancy, spreading the word, that's nice, but they don't particularly want to work with us, it would seem. So we decided to kind of go it alone and have been thinking about what we might be able to do. And Maggie will tell you about our latest plan. But in doing this, we've learned that there's so much going on in Enfield and across the country. And Francis referenced a couple of webinars which he's done. The most recent one with Educate Global is absolutely incredible. The resources, the schemes, the activities are absolutely amazing. There's the Green Schools project as well. They're working with a couple of schools in Enfield. We've also hooked up with a group who produced a beautiful book for COP26, which is this climate change book. So it's a couple of climate strikes and activities in 2019. Lots of artwork produced by children as well to talk about how they feel about the climate emergency. So to give kids a voice. So it's been really wonderful, actually. We've come across so many fantastic resources and initiatives, but what we're kind of learning is that they're not joined up. Nobody really knows what's going on in the school next door to them. Not that many people know about the Green Schools project or Educate Global, or in fact what EnCaf is trying to do. So as a networking group, I feel like where we can really support is by joining those dots, by letting one school know what the school down the road is doing, because they're quite often all involved in quite good stuff, and they could share that, and it would mean that all of the schools in Enfield would get a bit of a look in. So that's one of the ways that we're going to try and do this. We're trying to reach out to schools, contact the head teachers, because they're the ones we need to get in front of, tell them what we're doing and say, look, why don't we create some kind of notice board, some forum where your schools can tell us what's happening, and we'll share that with more schools in the borough. So you can all go and plant trees or do whatever activities you want to. So that's kind of where we're going with that. And I wanted to say one other thing, but I can't remember what that was. Oh yes, 2 other things we'd like to do. We'd like to get involved with Enfield and Bloom next year. We'd love them to run a climate competition. So best school climate garden, best school climate initiative as part of Enfield in Bloom. And we're also connecting the over 50s, as Vicky is their climate champion, we're trying to connect them with their fantastic sort of repair workshop, going into schools and showing kids how they can actually repair and reuse some of the things which they're so keen to chuck away. So there's lots of kind of connections that we're making, which is really wonderful. And the last thing I want to say is Maggie's going to tell you about our competition, which is super exciting. Please be thinking while she's talking, is there a school that you know, or your kids are at, or your kids were at, that you can talk to about this wonderful idea? Because we need to get in front of schools straight away to make a film, and we want to share our video with schools in September. So please be thinking while Maggie's telling you about the plan, what could I do maybe to help support this plan and get it into as many schools as possible? So that's all from me. I'll hand over to Maggie.
Thank you very much. Zoe, do tell me if I leave anything out. Do feel free to chip in, won't you? Okay, hello everybody. We are really excited about the project that we have got started. It's a competition for school students of all ages, so from 4 to 18. And it's called Love Your Planet. It's the Love Your Planet competition. The competition is for children to either make a poster or to make a 1-minute film, the kind of thing they'd put on TikTok or other social media, either about what concerns them, about what's happening to the world, or what you can do to help, what I can do to help. So we're going to pitch it slightly differently, obviously, for the younger audiences and the older students. The teachers in our education group said, well, this would be a great way to be able to introduce the subject into the classroom, as long as teachers don't have to do any special preparation, because they're already up to here with everything that they've got to do. So we thought perhaps the best way to introduce this would be to get a couple of short promo films made. So films which would tell, which have 3 parts really. They first of all say, what is climate change? What is the climate emergency? How has it happened? The second part is, what are other schools in our area doing about it? And then the third part is what you can do, enter our competition. So quite a simple structure. I thought it would be good to involve Middlesex University, because this is education at the next level up. And the head of film at Middlesex happens to be a good friend of mine. So she has put out a call to her students with a brief to make these 2 promo films. And some very good students have answered the brief. I've got my first meeting with them on Monday. And so we will be beginning to get this project underway. They will be going in to schools and filming good practice. And that could be good practice in the curriculum, or it could be good practice. One primary school that I've spoken to has a forest school every Friday. They do, walking buses to school. They do tree planting. There's lots of stuff going on. But obviously, as Zoey said, the Climate Action Network, which the council have organised, actually has representatives from 29 schools attending it. And we believe there are about 400 in the borough. So what we need to do is to say to those that are not perhaps doing anything, this is the kind of thing you could be doing. And as we know, every little makes a difference. So the promo films are going to be made. The deadline for the promo films to be completed and signed off is the 22nd of July. The students who are doing them are going to be able to use these as part of their coursework, and also they will be part of their show reels that they can take to try and get jobs later. And then the whole thing is going to be launched in the Big Green Week, which is the 27th of September to the something or other of October, that week anyway, when we hope to have made enough noise about this project to be able to get teachers across the borough to show the films and encourage the students to either make a poster or a little film for our competition. The students have been invited to be part of the team judging the competition. The Enfield's what they called events people are going to be happy to show the posters, have an exhibition of the posters, and maybe show the films on a reel. So we feel that we've got enough impetus to really get going with this, and we're very excited about it.